Alright people, how are you doing? I wanted to talk about this, wanted to make this video. I want to talk about the Cosby Verdict, okay? And my opinions, my viewpoints on it. There's a lot of implications with this, okay? There's a gender implication, okay? There's a race implication, okay? There's a societal implication, and you know, and that whole type of thing. And hold on a second. Alright, so I mean the implication, first of all, about okay, okay, we'll go with the gender one first. Okay, we all know that feminism has been making its rounds. You know, they've been doing their thing with the whole Me Too movement and the Time's Up movement and all this type of stuff. You know, this third wave feminism has been on the march. Okay, so a big part of why I think the mass media promoted this, like CNN and all that shit, is because they're marketing to these women, you know, these white female feminists and stuff, and these you know, who, you know, they want some of that power. You know, they want some of that white man's power that they feel that the white man has in the society. They want some of that power for themselves, and they think taking down a prominent male in the entertainment industry like Bill Cosby, okay, is a step in that direction. How should I say it? You know, and this, you know, there's a lot of implications in this. You know, women wanting the power, okay, women wanting to be in a position of authority in industries such as entertainment, okay. This is a big step in that direction. Cosby is kind of like the sacrificial lamb, I think, that they're throwing up there, that the entertainment industry is throwing up there. You know, also I think there was a lot of people in the entertainment industry who had an axe to grind with Cosby. You know, ever since Cosby wanted to buy NBC, or he almost bought it, they just had this thing about Cosby. You know, Cosby was just a threat, you know, that they had to deal with, they had to get rid of, you know what I mean? And that they had to neutralize. I mean, yeah, the first trial was a mistrial, but when they did the second trial, I said, yeah, you know, they're not gonna stop at nothing to get this man. Okay, you know, America as a society, it will stop at nothing to make sure black people don't get too much power. And any black person that gets a whole lot of power, they try to knock them down, especially if it's a prominent black person. You know, okay, that's why I think a lot of these black people who really have money like that and are really doing things, a lot of them kind of stay under the radar. And I can see why with this. Okay, but when you're a prominent black person like this and you are influencing a lot of people, okay, they're gonna try to come after you. Okay, when it came to the you know, with Cosby, as far as like the and I'm jumping around here a little bit, as far as like the racial aspect, you know, Cosby was making a lot of positive programming, you know, for black children and stuff, with the Fat Albert series and stuff, you know, stuff promoting integrity and promoting character, you know, for the black youth and stuff. And they don't like that. That fucks up their money. When black kids are doing the right thing, that fucks up their money. And when black kids are not running around gang banging or promoting, participating in degeneracy or doing drugs or going to jail, getting locked up, living lives of crime, when they're not doing that, a lot of these other people can't make money off black people. Okay? You got the justice system, which doesn't get as much federal funding because they're not locking as many people up. And you got these immigrants who come and set up businesses in our communities and keep our communities economically depressed. Okay? Who just leech off our communities and stuff like that. Now, anytime you upset that apple cart, okay, like Cosby did, it's gonna fuck some shit up. Now, as far as the people who say that, well, Cosby talked down to black folks, he did this, he did that. I know Boyce Watkins said some of that. I sympathize with that. I wish Cosby had been, to a certain extent, I sympathize with it. I wish Cosby had been a little bit different in his delivery of when he addressed black folks. I wish it had been a little bit different. The way he, spoke to black folks and that whole type of thing. But, I wish he had modified his tone a little bit. Perhaps he could have got a better reaction out of black folks. But at the end of the day, I felt much of what he said was actually good. He was talking about the degeneracy and how Negroes, we've lowered our standards for our children and stuff like that. And you know what? A lot of that needed to be said. Even though a lot of black people didn't want to hear that, a lot of that needed to be said. I know, he may have come off as arrogant to a lot of people. Boyce Watkins said Cosby came off as arrogant to him and somewhat disrespectful and that whole type of thing. And you know what, though? That there is a lesson to be learned in that. I think as black people, we need to always take, no matter what position we reach in life, I think we need to always take the time out to humble ourselves and just know and realize that no matter what type of blessings we have, we live in a society that is constantly, every day, trying to figure out a way to take that away from us and to check us and to put us in a, try to compromise us and humiliate us and put us in a lower position. That's just the nature of this society, or at least that's how we have allowed this society to relate to us based on how we have done things in this society. But that's a whole nother conversation. Okay, but just the humble aspect, and I've heard from multiple people, Bill Cosby just wasn't a humble guy. He walked around with this mentality that, I'm not black, I'm Bill Cosby. And I think that's a fucked up mentality to have towards other black people. I don't think you should look at other black people in that way. You know what I mean? I think you should look at other black people in the form of you want to network with them, you want to, try to make things better and try to, that whole type of thing, that you need to be looking at other black people as an asset to you. You should never walk around with your nose up in the air around other black people. You know what I mean? Because you never know when the day might come when you might need the community to have your back. Okay? You never know when the day might come when you gonna get humble. Because that day is going to come. That comes for everybody. Everybody has that midlife crisis. You're going to go through hardships and crises and stuff in life. That's just the story of life, And it's not a good idea to put down those who are in your community, who are your potential allies, and your potential people who's going to really feel for you and care for you if something happened to you. If you put those people down, you're going to isolate yourself, man. And that's not good. It's not good to be isolated, because when you're isolated, Then when the, dominant society machinery has an issue and a problem with you, and they turn their artillery guns on you, now you don't have no one that got your back. You know what I mean? You don't have no one to go up there to bat for you. You know what I mean? It's, and like I said, this is a society that will stop at nothing. They did all they could to bring Tiger Woods down and to take his legacy down after he cheated on his wife. Meanwhile, these white celebrities, they go and cheat every which way to Sunday, okay? But they always want to use the black people as the sacrificial lambs, okay? And I wish Cosby's tone had been different when he talked to the black community, man. He rubbed a lot of black people the wrong kind of way. Okay, he really rubbed a lot of black people the wrong kind of way when he went off on those tangents the way that he did. And actually, because of that, a lot of black people don't feel sympathy for him. Okay, a lot of black people don't feel sympathy for Cosby because of the way he, the way arrogant he was, the way he spoke to people, the way he talked to people, and that whole type of thing. And it really is a travesty. Now, as far as the case itself, this supposed woman that he supposedly sexually assaulted, it came out that this woman had taken all kind of money from him, accepted all kind of gifts from him over the damn years, and only then in the end came back and said, well, he gave me Quaaludes so long ago, he gave me this, he gave me that. And this woman is just full of shit. Okay, and y'all notice they use mostly white women to try to bring Cosby down. As a conscious black male myself, I think this is kind of a wake-up call for us as black men. We need to watch these, these females in general, but these white women especially. As a dominant society has proven all throughout history, time and time again, that they waste no time to use the white female as a weapon, okay, against the black community, and particularly against black men. Okay, they've done this time and time and time again, and it's, I think we need to be on the lookout with that shit. They tried to use that white girl committing suicide to take out Nate Parker, which is why the Birth of a Nation movie failed. Okay, y'all need to watch this, because these white feminists, especially these white feminists, gun for black men. I noticed that they've been gunning for us ever since they gave black men the right to vote before white women. Okay, these white feminists have been gunning for black men. They've been gunning for y'all. A lot of these white feminists supported the Ku Klux Klan back in the day. A lot of these white feminists were in the Ku Klux Klan. Go read some of the quotes of some of these white feminists. There was one white feminist that said, I remember she made the quote, she said that she was talking about lynchings, and she said that she was saying that she felt that lynchings promoted like the white male masculinity, and how it kind of, lynchings were kind of like representative of the lengths that the white male would go to protect the white women and that kind of thing. And she said that if that's what they do, then I say lynch away. I remember there was a quote, we all go look that up, but there was a quote, she said that kind of shit. Okay, these white feminists, they were some most hateful, most evil, most racist people ever in history. That's why I say, if you're a black woman and you're into feminism, I'm going to always look at you sideways, because why are you supporting an ideology that supported the genocide of your own race of men? Okay, And now what is happening is these white feminists want power. Now, as far as these MGTOW and stuff, my opinion is this. Okay, the reason you don't see too many of these white men, you don't see them really going at this Me Too movement the way they should, because even Sean James talked about this in his video. But I think, and this is what really gets to the real hardcore racial aspect of this, is that when it comes to these white feminism, as draconian as they are, as fucked up as they are, a lot of these white men kind of have the understanding with this white feminist that they're going to share power with her. And what we've seen throughout history is that the white men and the white women, they have proven they really don't have any problem sharing power with each other. Okay? And yeah, these white men are going to complain about feminism, but they know at the end of the day that once this white woman gets up there and she gets into that position of power and she starts getting his money and all that kind of stuff, they know that at the end of the day, he's sleeping in the same bed as her. Okay, he's living in the same house as her. The wealth, this newfound wealth that this white woman is going to get from, that's also going to be his wealth. Okay, and they're going to use that money to monetize themselves and to stay ruling over the black mass, over black folks. That's just the reality of it. Okay, so although Sean James said in his video that he wants to see men start to stand up for themselves more, and this is an attack on men's rights and stuff. The reason white men don't really say too much is because they know that they're sharing the same power with that white female. Okay, white men and white women have enough of an affinity for one another that they can work with each other and they can understand that concept. Something black folks need to understand, because black folks think that as soon as the civil rights movement came, we thought that it was okay for us to just shit on each other and disrespect one another, and we didn't have to fuck with each other anymore. We can marry, date interracially. Swiss sisters now, they got the SWOR movement, and we felt that we didn't have to fuck with each other anymore. But understand that the superstructure of the society is still very racist, and it's still very against you as a black person, and it seeks to marginalize you. Okay. So now that they got Cosby convicted, and I mean, at the end of the day, it could still be overturned. Like, they could still overturn this conviction, which I think that's the next move that the Cosby lawyers are going to try to make. But at the end of the day, the damage is done. I mean, the damage to the Cosby family, the damage to the Cosby legacy, they're going to try to drain the brother's bank account now. Think about how many white people are going to get his money now, because he has to fight all these legal cases, and he has to go and all these administrative fees and all this shit now. They're probably going to bring in some civil lawsuits and shit now. Okay, from these women. They just going to milk this fucking man. And who knows, probably until the Cosby estate has nothing. It really is fucking depressing. It really is messed up and depressing. It really is some fucked up shit. But at the end of the day, I said, that white man and that white women, they play like they going at it, but they really on the same team. It's just that they're switching the guard now. Okay, they really just fighting over who's gonna hold the knife that stabs your ass in the back. And you need to be hip and aware to that as a black person. That's why I think the MGTOW movement exists. A lot of guys, a lot of these black dudes, they think MGTOW want the society to collapse. No, what MGTOW are is they're just a bunch of privileged white males who they don't want to upset the apple cart. Either they still live with their mothers, or they're still dependent on money from their families and whatever. So they don't want to upset that apple cart, and they understand that at the end of the day, they're still going to hold dominion over the niggas. You know what I mean?
but it's just their way to complain about it. That's what y'all guys don't realize, that the MGTOW is just a passive way from white males to protest. Okay, see, y'all think the white man is going to get out there in the street side by side with the black man and go protest the white women. He's not going to do that. Because just like the white feminists had that understanding with the white man, they were going to share power. He has that same understanding. That's why all this men's rights and that kind of shit, that shit really, it really doesn't, or at least up until now, it really doesn't go anywhere. Okay, it just doesn't go anywhere. Because a lot of these white men, you know what, even they might even be mixed up, but you know what, they're content. They're content to still, to at least have that position in society where they are higher than Negroes. Okay, they're content to just have that rather than, you know, they're content to just have that rather than directly confront their mothers, their sisters, their female cousins, and whatever, what have you. They're not going to do that. Okay, because why? Because they still see a benefit in marginalizing the black population. Alright, and that's what you guys are going to have to start understanding. That's what you guys are going to have to start realizing. Okay? You know, and that's what this shit is really all about. Now, as far as this being like a men's rights thing, you know, I have yet to see a competent men's rights movement actually get enough support to get anything done because of the racial issue. Because white men, you know, they're going to stay on their team. They're not going to try to come over and help the black man rise or get to the top. That's not what's going to happen. Yeah, he's going to complain, but he's going to stay with that white woman. He's going to stay on her team. They're going to stay cooperating, stay doing what they're doing together. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. You know, and black folks just need I really just wish black folks would just wake up. More and more black folks need to wake up and realize what's really going on out here, what the game really is, and start playing the game effectively. I hate to see what happened to Cosby. No, but they were determined to do it. They were determined to do this. This also brings me to another point. This is why I think black people need like safe havens in Africa and in. You need a place. You need at least. What if Cosby had like owned some land or something in Africa, and when the heat got on his ass, he just went over to Africa and just got out of the U.S. And if they wanted to really fuck with him, what if he just renounced his citizenship? And say, I'm over here in Ghana now, I'm over here in Nigeria now, I'm over here in Liberia now. I'm not coming back for no trial. What if he'd have done that? You know, you need to start thinking like that too. It seems like when we say in America, it gives them a, you know, it gives them a, you know, it gives them longer of a period of time, you know, to try to figure out how they can fuck with us. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. That's how I view it. You know, Cosby did a lot for the community, and you know, he gave so much money to these black colleges and stuff, and it really is horrible to see him go out like this. At the end of the day, we have to learn from this. This is some shit we have to learn from. Take the lessons away. Okay, all that, you know, I'm better than the other niggas, the Negroes, because, you know, I got this, or I got that job, or yada, yada, yada. That's gotta go. We're all in the same boat as black folks in this society at the end of the day. Because you know what, this society views all us in the same manner. Alright, and that's the real truth of it. And that's the real lesson of this Cosby shit. No matter how rich you get, you need to always have your head on the swivel. You need to always have your community's back. You know, if you feel black people doing something wrong, help them out. Correct them. Help them. Okay? Get some brothers and sisters together. Start an organization or something. Call awareness to what's going on in the community. But you cannot abandon your people, because this is kind of the result here. What happens when you abandon your people? You know, Cosby, you know, he was around white folks for years. He was around these white circles. You get around these white folks, around these white elite circles and Hollywood and stuff, you start thinking you one of them. And then they show you not one of them. You know what I mean? And that's how it ends up going in the end. But anyways, you know, leave comments, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Get the likes up. Donate to the PayPal in the description box. Thank you for watching. Peace.